This is Chelsea Janssen with ICTV. I'm here with Mr. Stanley Hill, class of '59. So, Mr. Hill, you're back at Iona after
Yes.
so long. How's it feel?
Feels good. Feels good. I left out in my presentation. I left out one example about how good it is to be here. My coach, Coach McDermott, for example, he was the kind of individual who motivated you in his own way. Like for example, he asked me to go on a blind date in the college in New Rochelle. You know, and I was caught off guard. I had no idea why this woman asked me to go out with her, right? And I found out later it was her friends who recommended me, you know, and McDermott was that kind of person, right? So when I saw some of the brothers, one brother who still went to school with me, he was here, he teaches Spanish, and I asked about the other brothers who have passed away. You know, I had this tremendous feeling of 4 years of good feelings, and it was education that you never forget.
I know you spoke about the incident versus Ole Miss. Can you bring us back to that moment one more
Sure.
time?
It was really an incident where I know I will never forget, but it had tremendous educational value because the players that I was with, my teammates, we learned a lot from that. And down in Owensboro, Kentucky, when the incident at the pool room, for example, when they wouldn't let us play pool because of who I was, you know, and we stuck together. We went back to the hotel, and then we went out in the court to play in Mississippi, and the governor pulled his team off, the team because I was black, and we felt not only angry and disappointed, but that night when we went back to the hotel, the Mississippi players knocked on my door, and they came in to apologize. And we sat there for 2 hours, you know, drinking beer and having a good time. But at the same time, it was very sober. It was a very sober kind of communication, and we learned a lot from each other.
Yeah.
So it was an experience that you never forget. But 40 years later, the chancellor for Mississippi invited us down to Mississippi, my wife and I, because there was changes. A black coach, predominantly black players in Mississippi. 40% of the students in Mississippi now are black. So in those 40 years, there's been tremendous changes. And we were down there for 3 days, and we had an incredible time, you know. And Iona College basketball team played the University of Mississippi. They lost by 1 point, but again, it was that kind of experience that you never forget.
So you speak a little bit about change, and now a really big change in the United States is our new black president, Barack Obama. Where were you that day that he was inaugurated, and how are you feeling?
I was home, but again, I had done some organizing in my community, my wife and I. You know, it was a feeling that, you know, it was a great feeling. I was always reminding people that Bobby Kennedy, 40 years ago, he predicted this would happen, and that to me blew my mind when he predicted that, because I never expected it to happen. Mm-hmm. And President Obama, with all the problems that he has been a very good president, and he's an excellent communicator. And I'm very proud to say that he not only exemplifies the tradition of what a president should do to help people, but I'm hoping that he gets reelected, of course. And I'm very proud of it. I mean, and my wife and I are very proud. My children are very proud. You know, and it helps the young kids understand that they have a chance, a better chance, that President Obama is there now, in terms of accomplishing things. And we got a long way to go still, but there's been tremendous improvement in the 56 years that between Mississippi, the Kentucky situation, and now. So. Every day, I thank God for waking up at the age of 75 in my family to work hard, to keep on learning, and to keep on supporting the issues that are very important for the people who need it.
Now, you mentioned that we still have a long way to go. You think that there's still a lot more that can change in the United States?
Oh, absolutely. Unemployment is still high. I mean, even though there's been tremendous growth in the 22 months where the unemployment benefits have in terms of people applying for benefit has dropped, unemployment is increasing, especially in the private sector. We want to start improving the public sector more. things are getting better. People have a better attitude now toward what is happening, but we still have to deal with poverty. We still have to deal with health care, education, okay? And Iona College, of course, has always been in the forefront in terms of trying to accomplish what President Obama is trying to accomplish. And that's why I'm very proud to see him as the president. And we still have a tremendous, he himself has admitted this. You know, he can't do it in 1 term or 2 terms or maybe even a decade. But the important thing is that we're moving forward and we're trying to improve what's happening.
All right, well, thank you for talking with us.
Thank you.
I'm Chelsea Janssen with ICTV with Stanley Hill.
And this may sound very simplistic, but I'm 75 years old. I know it works because I've been part of that formula. Have I made mistakes? Yes, I have. But the important thing is that Iona College gave me that basics, gave me that background to make it in this crazy world they were living. And I'm very proud to come out of Iona College because I learned a lot and I really appreciate the kind of education that I got.
This magic moment, so different and so new, was like any other until I